Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to this platform. Our today lesson will be coming from Psalm 31, verses 13 to 16. And the main discussion of this lesson is relying on Jehovah for protection. We have seen in the Bible many faithful servants rely on Jehovah for protection, and they were protected and were richly blessed. But I did a simplified form of reading of this lesson. But first, I will have to take you straight to the Bible and read from verses 13 to 16 before I can take you to the simplified form. 31st verse 13 reads, I have heard many evil rumors. Terror surrounds me. When they gather together as one against me, they scheme to take away my life. 14 says, But I trust in you, O Jehovah. I declare you are my God. 15 says, My days are in your hand. Rescue me from the hand of my enemies, from those persecuting me. 16, the last one says, Make your face shine upon your servant. Save me by your loyal love. So I'm going to take you to the simplified form, the way that I simplify it. Verse 13 says, I have heard people talking bad about me. I am surrounded by fear. My enemies are making plans to hurt me. But I trust in you, Lord. I say, you are my God. That's 14. 15 says, my life is in your hands. Please protect me from my enemies who are trying to hurt me. 16 says, look kindly at me. Save me because of your love and mercy. Save me because of your servant. So in the mini, I had a mini, and I have 4 steps that have been simplified. So we start with step 1, which is verse 13. The writer David feels like everyone is talking bad about him and making plans to harm him. But he's really scared because he feels surrounded by danger. If you had that kind of motive, that kind of concern, you feel scared. Even to go in the public, you don't want to step outdoor because you feel that everybody is against you. That's how David felt. So in verse 14, he says, even though he is in a tough situation, but David does what? David chooses to trust God. He reminds himself that God is in control and says, you are my God, showing that David depends on God for help. When he says, you are my God, that is to show trust. Verse 15 says, David believed that God controls his life. Likewise, ourselves as Christians, we believe that God controls our life. Right? And what happens to him? What happens to David? He asks God to protect him from the people who want to harm him. It's the same thing with us. If we feel threatened as Christians, we pray to God for protection. Nowhere we can go to protect us besides God. So we pray to God for protection. And definitely, he will protect us as he does to David. verse 16 says, David asked God to show kindness and favor to him. He wants God to save him. Not because he deserves it. It's the same thing, not because we deserve it. If we are asking God for favor, it doesn't mean we deserve it. We are asking God because we are servant and asking for his loyal love and mercy. Just the same thing with David. David said, but because of God's loyal love and mercy. That's what David is pleading for. That's what he's pleading for. Not that he deserves it, but because God's loyal love and mercy, we have empathy on him for that protection to be given him. So the key points that we will be taking away today will be trust God in hard times, God controls our life, asking God for help. And then after that, we will be talking about the summary. What all we gather from this whole lesson. What is our main thinking? What is our main message that we are taking home? Trust God in hard time is like you are in a hardship or difficulties and there is nowhere to turn. The only person you can trust is God. I had a place in here. I said, even when things seem bad or scary, God will help. That's what David did. He said, even when things seem bad or scary, David trusts that God will help him. Why can't we too trust when things goes wrong and ask God for protection? Why can't we as Christians trust in God too, as David does? It is a right way to seek protection. The second key point is God controls our life. David believes that God oversees everything that happens in his life. That's the same banner we are walking on as Christians. We believe that everything we are doing, God is in control of our life. God is in control. So we are walking on a shade of God's glory. That's what David said. He believed that God oversees everything that happens in his life. We too should see it that way. And the last key point is asking for God's help. There are a lot of people, when they are frustrated, when they have problems beyond their control, they are confused. They don't even know who to go to help them. They even forget about God until somebody who is a Christian, a godly person, can remind them that put your trust in God before the memory can resettle in them that there is God, before they start pursuing and asking God for protection. So asking God for help, David asked God for help, knowing that God is loving and merciful. Yes, it is true. We are sinners. We broke God's rules. Yet he did not mind that. He sent his son, Jesus Christ, to redeem us from that burden. Aren't you too feel that kind of love that God gave to us by sending his begotten son, his beloved son, to die for us? Isn't a loyal love and mercy? It is merciful. That's why David placed his trust in Jehovah. Let us take this home now. The summary we are taking home today is David feels scary and threatened by people he suspected of wishing to hurt him. But instead of looking for protection elsewhere, he turns to God and asks for help. He trusts that God is in control of his life and that God's love will save him. Therefore, brothers and sisters, I want you to take your own time to read Psalm 31, verses 13 to 16, and see how David placed trust into Jehovah. I always remind you that after watching the video, learn to go back to the Bible and read for yourself. It will be much better if you read for yourself and digest it in a silent moment. I will be leaving this platform, so I beg that you take your own time in adjusting and imitating what you're about to read or what you listen to, and put it into practice. May you please share, subscribe, and like this video. I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video from start to end. Bye.